I just thought I'd do a point of view from the bicycle of Myrtle Beach's Ocean Boulevard. We've been wanting to ride the Myrtle Beach dedicated bike lane for some time, and it seemed that our most current trip was the most ideal opportunity that we've ever had. When we honeymooned in Myrtle Beach in 1978, no bike lanes were available, so this was a welcome addition to us. Early in the morning, we left the Sandcastle Resort about, I guess it was about 10:30, 11 o'clock perhaps, and we were traveling north on Ocean Boulevard to our destination, the Sky Wheel. Sky Wheel is a large Ferris wheel type amusement ride with enclosed gondolas. The ride is located on the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk. Now, the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk's unlike most of the boardwalks people are familiar with from up the northeast, on the northeastern coast of the United States. It's only about a mile, perhaps a mile and a half long. But it was an addition that was added back in 2008-2009 during the recession, when there was a huge downturn in vacation budgets, and Myrtle Beach suffered greatly. But the city administrators decided that they were going to do a boardwalk. This might be the ideal opportunity. So they were able to put out bids and get a very, very favorable bid, saving a great deal of money putting the boardwalk in during the recession. Now, this is on Memorial Day weekend. This is Thursday, just prior to Memorial Day weekend. If you look over to the right, you'll notice the barricades. These are normally not there. They are placed there on holiday weekends, particularly Memorial Day weekend and maybe the 4th of July weekend, to prevent pedestrians from crossing at random spots and force them to go to the crosswalks for safety. Now, as you look over to your left and to your right, you'll see some older hotels, the Virginian and the Viking. They've been in Myrtle Beach for quite some time. And as we continue to move on up north, you'll notice a few franchises that you might be familiar with. There's Best Western. Best Western has facilities both on the east and the west side of Ocean Boulevard. The east side, of course, you would exit directly out of your room and be on the beach, beachfront and beach view properties. And of course, on the west side of Ocean Boulevard, you would have to cross over to get to the beach. As you look over to the right, you'll see a parking placard with a P, marked with a P. This is public parking and also public beach access. If you are there and you're trying to vacation on the cheap, you can certainly do that by getting a block or so off the main drag of Ocean Boulevard. You can either park in the parking spots there and access the beach, and if that's not available, if you're close enough, you can just walk the few blocks necessary, cross Ocean Boulevard, go through the public parking area, and you'd have direct access to the beach. Either way, it's a great way to be able to see Myrtle Beach and to be able to experience an excellent vacation beachfront at a reasonable price any time of the year. Also, the municipality decided to reverse the traffic. As you notice, you've got both a north and southbound traffic. We're traveling northbound, and facing us is a southbound traffic. Well, sometime later that day, Thursday, or perhaps early Friday morning, the traffic was reversed to strictly southbound. And if you wanted to go northbound, you had to move over left one block and travel northbound on the Kings Highway. One of the interesting things about Kings Highway is that it was one of the original trails that connected Myrtle Beach, South Carolina with the rest of the country. It's even said that George Washington stayed at an inn that was located on Kings Highway during his presidency and a visit to the Myrtle Beach area when he traveled through. And if you stay in Myrtle Beach any time at all, you're bound to encounter some of the fun facts that they like to throw out, either at the museums or through the paper or through the advertisements that they publish in the hotels and internet and so forth. They like to brag about several things, such as like they've got over 100 championship golf courses in the area, and they've totaled now that over 3 million rounds of golf are played a year. Also, they have 30 miniature golf courses in the area, which makes it the world capital for miniature golf. There's literally a pancake house. For whatever reason, we just don't really understand. Pancakes are not necessarily considered to be a South Carolina staple, but there are pancake houses all over the city. And as far as when you look at the city as a whole, you say, well, where's the bad part of the city? Well, there's really no bad part of Myrtle Beach. The southern part, close to the area where we stayed, is an older part, but it's really not considered to be bad. It's just a little older, and the expansion has moved toward the north, toward North Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach area also has 650 acres of public parks. It's everything. Public and state parks, national parks. They've got just anything like that you could possibly have an interest in. We enjoy the bike trails, of course, and they've got one of the best that we've ever ridden. But by far, the biggest attraction of Myrtle Beach is the coastline itself. What you've got there is 60-mile stretch of coastline, uninterrupted beach. And in 1949, a newspaper editor nicknamed it the Grand Strand. And it stuck, and that's what it's known by today. And it is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. That's a brag that they make, and I believe it's true. It's just once you go to the beach and you see what it's like, it's really unbelievable. People use the beach any hour of the day. They walk the beach at night. They jog on it early in the morning. Now, as you can see here, you're receiving deliveries in the morning. I'd said earlier that it's probably between 11, 11:30. I think it's probably much earlier than that. Probably closer to, I want to say about 9:30, 10 in the morning when we first begin our ride. So you're going to be seeing some deliveries from time to time in the middle lanes. Off to the right, you're going to see a couple of hotels you'll most likely want to try to put on your try to avoid list. As we continue to travel north, you're going to see more and more newer motels and hotels and large resorts. Off to the left is an old staple. It's Friendly's Restaurant. It's something similar to a Brahms restaurant where they do serve plate lunches and suppers. And just beyond that, in the back parking lot there of Friendly's, you've got an amusement park. Across the street, on the east side of Ocean Boulevard, you've got a really, really nice water park. Fast forwarding just a little bit, I do not know exactly what the structure on the ride is, what it plans to be, but maybe the next time we'll go down there, we'll be able to find out and get a little bit more information. It was just in a kind of a hurry because it appeared to be that the rain was coming in much faster than what we thought. Now, if you look to the right, you're going to see an old-style arcade. That's a throwback to the pavilion days. We're just now approaching the area with the sky wheel in the background there and the ocean over to the right. But that area just to our right was where the pavilion stood from 1948 to 2006. It was a landmark. It had the arcade downstairs, and it had what was referred to as a magic attic upstairs, and it was billed as being a nightclub for teenagers. It's a place where the kids, high school kids, college kids could come during the 50s, 60s, and beyond. It was there in the 1970s when I graduated from high school and visited, and then later in the 1970s when I visited while in college, and then on our honeymoon. If you look to the right, you're going to see two things. Number one, a bar called the Bowery and Peach's Corner. Significance there is that Peach's Corner has been there, as the sign says, in the same location since 1937. The Bowery has a historical significance also. It is a place where between 1973 and 1979, the rock group, Easy Rock group, country group Alabama performed. That was was their home stage, and it is said that the name for the Alabama group came from a sign that was on the stage there at the Bowery. Over to the left, it's the Gay Dolphin, supposed to be the world's largest gift shop, 26,000 square feet, and they claim to have over 70,000 items. It's been there for years, and it started in 1946. So the Pavilion, Peach's Corner, the Gay Dolphin, that would have been all the things that people would have been enjoying and seeing when they came in the 40s and the 50s. We're turning in now. You're going to get a first glimpse to the right over there at the ocean, and a shaky sky wheel there in front of us. And the boardwalk is just off to the left, and I assumed that we were going to take a little stroll along the boardwalk on our bikes, but Frank informed me no, that we were not going to do that. So instead we turned around here, and that was the end of our trail for that day, and we're going to be heading back to the hotel. But hope you've enjoyed this. The next video I'm going to do a walking tour of the area. As we make our final turn here to head back south, you get a better look there on the west side of Ocean Boulevard, the Gay Dolphin Gift Center. The next time, like I say, I'm going to be doing a walking tour, and we'll be featuring the beach, the boardwalk, and maybe a few other attractions in the area. So for now, we'll see you next time.